Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel where we delve into the fascinating world of personality types. Today we're exploring the I.L.E, or Intuitive Logical Extravert, also known as the Searcher. This type is all about curiosity, innovation, and a relentless quest for unique ideas. Let's get started. The I.L.E is a true visionary. They're always looking ahead, imagining distant prospects, and juggling numerous ideas and projects at once. They have a broad interest in everything, always hoping to find something unique. Past achievements. Not a big deal for them. They're more interested in what's next, even if it doesn't promise immediate returns. The I.L.E tends to be scattered and inattentive, often misplacing small items. They spend a lot of time in their own heads, pondering patterns and regularities in phenomena. Their logic can seem paradoxical to others, but they're not afraid to challenge outdated conventions. Major breakthroughs and discoveries are their goals. In everyday life, the I.L.E resists routine and strict schedules. They're always searching for alternatives to mundane life. In tough situations, they often show remarkable ingenuity and quick thinking. You can't reason with them using force. It just doesn't work. When it comes to social interactions, the I.L.E struggles with sensing interpersonal distances. They try to be equally friendly with everyone and ensure their conversation partner is engaged. Their communication style is accessible and democratic, but they need regular emotional shake-ups to avoid falling into depression from routine. Outward appearance. The first thing you'll notice about an I.L.E is their distinctive figure and posture. They often have a long, thin body with elongated limbs. This is especially noticeable in the length of their legs and fingers. If their logical side is more dominant, this feature might be less pronounced. Their posture is usually stooped, with a forward curve in the upper body, resembling the letter S. However, their head remains upright. They often have a protruding or extended nose, almost as if they're sniffing out new ideas. During conversations, an I.L.E likes to twirl objects in their hands, often breaking things like pens. When they walk or speak passionately, they gesticulate and wave their arms enthusiastically. If their intuitive side is stronger, you'll notice some differences. They might have a chamfered chin and a forward protruding upper jaw. These individuals tend to move more slowly compared to their logical counterparts. Their eyes are often fuzzy, as if looking through a fog, barely noticing their surroundings. These eyes appear cold and lack visible emotion. When it comes to clothing, the I.L.E often struggles with fit. Clothes might sit awkwardly, with buttons tearing or fabric slipping. Interests and hobbies. The I.L.E is a curious soul with a wide range of interests. They're always on the hunt for something unique and original. They can spot the potential in new ideas and projects quickly, but just as quickly, they'll drop any idea that doesn't seem promising and move on to the next. Often, their hobbies have nothing to do with their main job. They love to gather all kinds of discoveries and innovations related to their interests. The I.L.E is persistent and enthusiastic when it comes to spreading their own ideas. They need to make an idea their own to get excited about it. The I.L.E generates bold, alternative ideas on any topic they encounter. If their work doesn't interest them, they'll give it a completely new twist. They can find multiple applications for any invention or discovery, but they don't handle routine or tradition well. They're always looking to explore and explain complex topics that lack clear concepts or theories. The I.L.E compares different systems and clarifies relationships between various schemes. They need to find causal links between specific aspects and the broader picture. If an idea doesn't fit their design, they'll modify it to make it work within their framework. The I.L.E performs complex analyses, examining problems from multiple angles and explaining how different aspects function in various scenarios. They build their structures like construction toys, using available components creatively. Ultimately, the I.L.E connects interesting observations to their theories, always seeking one comprehensive explanation for diverse phenomena. Personality. By nature, the I.L.E. isn't aggressive, but they will fiercely defend their way of life and ideas. When faced with unreasonable limitations or rules, they react boisterously. If pressured, they launch a strong, brief counterattack. This excitement can sometimes make them lose control over their actions temporarily. While they can respond to challenges, they avoid prolonged confrontations, since staying mobilized for long periods is difficult for them. Thus, they prefer to steer clear of direct conflicts. In interactions, the I.L.E. keeps short psychological distances. They assess relationships based on their level of democratism. The less formal and ceremonious, the better. Their relationships can be inconsistent. They might be very familiar one moment and sternly distant the next. In conversations, the I.L.E. aims to capture all the attention of their partner. They gesticulate enthusiastically, speak loudly, fiddle with objects, and might even touch their conversation companions. They're generous in providing help and find it hard to refuse communication. The I.L.E. feels connected and responsible through their relationships. They don't hesitate to share personal problems and enjoy discussing the nuances of people's behavior or lifestyle. Relationship with the physical world. The I.L.E. often finds it challenging to assess the physical qualities of objects. They might stare at items with a studying gaze, and it's not unusual to see them touching or even smelling things to understand them better. When it comes to tasting food or beverages, they need to try quite a bit to get a sense of the flavor. They spend freely and don't worry much about saving or stocking up. Convenience is their top priority, and they often neglect organization and order. It's common for them to leave things where they last used them, spending a lot of time later searching for those items. The I.L.E. has a strong interest in health and sickness. When they get sick, they might take higher doses of medication or seek out radical treatments. However, they don't usually follow daily preventative measures. To maintain their vitality, the I.L.E. relies on external stimulants. Their appearance is often sloppy and untidy, with clothes that wear out quickly. They dislike changes in their environment once they're used to it, and tend to be conservative in their tastes and habits. Extroversion. The I.L.E. thrives in social settings. They love company, parties, and engaging in emotional communication. Positive emotions are their fuel. Without them, they can fall into a lazy, apathetic state for extended periods. They're always up for an active exchange of opinions and views, finding joy in debates and arguments. The I.L.E. responds to emotion with emotion, so it's important not to overdo it. In a burst of inspiration, they can easily lose track of the original point of a disagreement. When emotionally excited, the I.L.E. speaks rapidly and chaotically. Their thoughts race ahead of their words, making their speech difficult to understand. They experience sharp mood swings, oscillating between noise, humor, activity, and cheerfulness, and periods of depression and withdrawal. Relationship with time. They often hurry others, yet they manage their own time and others, however they see fit. It's not uncommon for them to be late or forget commitments, missing agreed deadlines. At times they fuss around, and at other times they move at a leisurely pace. The I.L.E. can't stick to an average pace of life, as they operate on their own understanding of time. They often start discussions on topics that interest them at inconvenient times for others, ignoring off-topic inputs. One of their notable abilities is predicting trends and future developments based on recent events. They have a keen interest in major occurrences like natural disasters, massive losses, and other significant life-changing events. Multitasking. The I.L.E. excels at handling multiple tasks simultaneously. They can launch and manage several ongoing processes at once, always aiming to maximize efficiency and functionality. In business, they show remarkable acumen, often starting many ventures at the same time. However, this can lead to issues with incompleteness and inefficiency. The I.L.E. enjoys directing others, assigning tasks to keep things moving according to their plan. They thrive on having objects of influence that they can maneuver as needed. Small business ventures often grow into larger ones, demanding significant energy and effort to bring to fruition. As a great experimenter, the I.L.E. is adept at adjusting unique equipment and is particularly effective in the realm of advanced technologies. They are driven to put their innovative ideas into practice, always seeking new ways to make things work better. Manner of communication. The I.L.E. often fluctuates in their communication. They might be friendly one moment and then unexpectedly hostile the next. They have a hard time reading people's attitudes, leading to frequent mistakes in friendships, acquaintances, and romantic ties. In conversations, the I.L.E. can be unceremonious and may interrupt tactlessly. They often stare intently, studying the person they're talking to, without considering how it makes the other person feel. Admitting guilt is rare for them. Even when they apologize, their behavior usually doesn't change. The I.L.E. is known for suggesting grand, unrealistic plans. They might forget about one plan and quickly propose another, equally ambitious one. They don't dwell on past achievements, but love discussing anything extraordinary and unusual. Attracted to the newest, most far-reaching theories, the I.L.E. is drawn to topics like psychics, yoga, and auras, anything that defies logical explanation. Their ideas are often intuitive and vague, making them hard for others to understand or believe in. Despite this, the I.L.E. enjoys giving advice on difficult situations, often proposing radical solutions. Their unique perspective can offer fresh, albeit sometimes impractical, insights. Features of behavior. A key trait of the I.L.E. is their scattered nature. They tend to leave items where they last used them, often losing small objects like keys. Their workspace and personal areas can be quite messy. They frequently forget what tasks they've completed and what still needs to be done. Despite this disorganization, the I.L.E. can be resourceful and ingenious in everyday situations, finding benefits and solutions in unexpected ways. This recombination skill might remind you of a clever and elusive character. This quality is less pronounced in the more intuitive subtype of the I.L.E. They struggle with doing many things at once quickly, and often delay uninteresting tasks until the last minute. However, being under time pressure can inspire and motivate them. They manage to complete a lot of work in a short period, though the quality might suffer. One defining feature of the I.L.E. is their ability to mobilize in extreme situations. When faced with volitional pressure, they quickly switch to a counterattack, sometimes responding even more forcefully. In some cases, this can escalate to physical confrontation. Another notable trait of the I.L.E. is their tendency to introduce elements of irrationality, disorder, and chaos into any situation, whether it's a project, activity, or business. This is especially evident in rigid, disciplined groups. For the I.L.E., creativity often involves breaking down the old to build something new. Supporters of the I.L.E.'s far-reaching, intuitive ideas often gather around them. Mental functions. Base function. Opportunity. Intuition. NE. The I.L.E. has a remarkable ability to see the potential in new ideas and projects. They're interested in everything, always hoping to find something unique. However, they quickly abandon ideas that don't pan out and move on to something new. Their interests are varied and often extend beyond their main job. The I.L.E. loves to gather discoveries and innovations related to their interests, always generating bold and alternative ideas. They can't stand routine and tradition. If they're stuck with a dull job, they'll find a way to make it exciting. They can come up with multiple applications for any invention or discovery. Persistent and expansive, the I.L.E. is driven to share their developments widely. But to truly get excited about an idea, they need to make it their own. Creative function, structural logic, TI. The I.L.E. is driven to study and explain complex phenomena that lack clear concepts or theories. They excel at identifying the connections between various schemes and structures, comparing different systems to uncover how they interrelate. When an idea doesn't fit into their existing framework, the I.L.E. can adapt and modify it to ensure it aligns. They approach complex problems from multiple angles, explaining how different aspects work in various scenarios. Like a designer, they piece together structures from pre-existing components. They connect interesting observations to their own theories, always seeking a single explanation for diverse phenomena. Finding cause-effect relationships between individual cases and the broader context is crucial for them. Role function, force sensation, SE. The I.L.E. is naturally non-aggressive, but will actively defend their way of life and ideas. When faced with what they see as unreasonable constraints, they react strongly. Apply pressure, and they'll launch a quick, forceful counterattack. This can sometimes make them lose control temporarily. In conversations, the I.L.E. works hard to keep the other person's attention. They gesture vigorously, speak loudly, fiddle with objects, or even touch their conversation partner. While they can meet a challenge head-on, they struggle with long-term competition due to limited stamina for sustained conflict. Thus, they prefer to avoid direct competition. The I.L.E.'s approach is marked by bursts of energy and strong reactions, but maintaining this intensity over time is challenging for them. Polar function, relations ethics, FI. The I.L.E. connects with people on a close psychological level. They evaluate relationships based on how democratic they are. The less formal, the better. Their behavior towards family and friends can be inconsistent. Initially, they are open and friendly, but they can suddenly become distant and unapproachable. When someone asks for help, the I.L.E. offers it selflessly. They find it difficult to refuse, even if it complicates their own life. They often feel entangled in relationships, not hesitating to share personal issues and discuss people's behavior and lifestyles. The I.L.E. thrives in open, democratic environments, but struggles with the complexities of close relationships, swinging between warmth and distance. Suggestive function, comfort sensation, sigh. The I.L.E. often feels uncertain when it comes to assessing the physical qualities of objects. They tend to look at, sniff, and listen to everything around them. When it comes to tasting food or drinks, they need a significant amount to form an opinion. External stimulants help them maintain their emotional balance, and comfort is their top priority. They spend money easily without much thought about savings or assets. Organization isn't their strong suit. They leave items where they last used them and spend a lot of time searching for these misplaced objects. Health and illness are topics of interest to the I.L.E. When they get sick, they tend to take larger doses of medication and seek radical treatments, but they don't usually follow daily preventative measures. Their appearance is often imperfect, with clothes that quickly look worn out. They dislike changes to their familiar environment and prefer consistency in their tastes and habits. Mobilizing function, emotional ethics, FE. The I.L.E. thrives on social gatherings, parties, and emotional exchanges. Positive emotions are essential for their energy. Without them, they can slip into a lazy, apathetic state. They're always ready for a lively exchange of views and enjoy engaging in interesting disputes. Their emotions mirror those of others, making it crucial not to get too involved. In a burst of inspiration, they might forget the initial point of disagreement. When emotionally excited, the I.L.E. speaks rapidly and chaotically, with thoughts racing ahead of their words, often making their speech hard to follow. They experience sharp mood swings, shifting from noise, humor, and cheerfulness to periods of depression and withdrawal. Ignoring function, temporal intuition, NI. The I.L.E. always keeps an eye on the time. They often urge others to hurry, but manage their own and others' time based on their unique perspective. This can lead to them being late or forgetting commitments. Their approach to time can be inconsistent. Sometimes they're overly fussy, other times they're too relaxed. They can't stick to a standard pace of life because they follow their own internal clock. The I.L.E. often brings up questions at inconvenient times for others, and ignores discussions they don't find relevant. They excel at predicting trends by analyzing past events and show a keen interest in significant occurrences like natural disasters and major crises. Demonstrative function, business logic TE. The I.L.E. is adept at handling multiple tasks at once. They excel in managing several different processes simultaneously, always striving to maximize functionality by integrating various elements. In the world of business and entrepreneurship, the I.L.E. shows remarkable resourcefulness and ingenuity. However, they often start too many projects at once, leading to issues with incomplete and inefficient work. The I.L.E. enjoys being in charge and giving instructions. They need elements they can control and direct. From small beginnings, they have the capability to grow a business into a larger venture, though it demands significant energy. New ideas are quickly put to the test. The I.L.E. is a brilliant experimenter, especially skilled in handling unique equipment and excelling in advanced technologies. Recommendations for self-improvement. The I.L.E. excels in learning-oriented thinking. They often come up with a variety of interesting and promising ideas. They have a knack for seeing the essence of events and anticipating how things will unfold. Their intuition plays a key role in making the right decisions. They are avid readers, constantly interested in new and unusual things. However, this can lead to scattering their interests and losing focus on what truly defines them. To realize their intuitive ideas, the I.L.E. uses logic. They aim to rationalize their thoughts and convince others of their validity. This attracts like-minded individuals, creating a circle of innovation and forward thinking. The I.L.E. opposes stagnation and outdated practices. However, this can lead to a risk of adopting a stance of total nihilism. One of their main challenges is understanding relationships between people and accurately assessing others' true attitudes towards them. The I.L.E. often loses interest in a person once they've intuitively figured them out. This can leave them unsure of how to proceed, which might cause others to feel disliked or dismissed. It's also easy for the I.L.E. to miss recognizing true enemies or opposition. To avoid jumping to conclusions about people, the I.L.E. should focus on objective and observable actions. This approach helps in accurately identifying who might be unfriendly or antagonistic. Establishing stable, positive relationships can be tough for the I.L.E. They might unintentionally be tactless and disrupt harmony. It's important for them to hold back immediate reactions to the statements or actions of those close to them. Here are some recommendations that might be useful. Be careful not to let your democratic approach slip into unnecessary familiarity. This can undermine your credibility and authority. Practice more tact to avoid shocking people with your honesty and straightforwardness. This way, you can avoid unintentionally creating ill-wishers. Another challenge is staying organized and disciplined. This can lead to losing track of daily chores and disrupting future plans. Try to manage tasks in a timely manner. If you supervise or manage others, avoid excessive control and unnecessary pressure on your team. Know where to draw the line to avoid irrational demands that could put you in a difficult position. Instead, channel your energy into sports or physical activities. This will boost your vitality, improve well-being, and help you become more collected and disciplined. This was the complete breakdown of the ENTp, otherwise known as I.L.E. in Socionics. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights into the world of personality types. See you next time.